come vape with me? This is a special video for Frank Davis, and I've just come from his smoky drinky bar, and I want to see if I can read a letter that I wrote to Theresa May. And I wrote the letter and I read it at the smoky drinky bar, and Frank said, would I make a video that he could use where I could read the letter? But now I don't know how to get the letter up on my screen so that I can read it. So hang on a mo. This is the letter I recently wrote to Theresa May. I wrote this on the 12th of May 2017. Dear Mrs. May, I have great admiration for you. I'm wishing you the very best for the coming elections. We need your strength to deliver Brexit safely to our country. There is something I'm hoping you would clear up for me, and many others like me. I would like to know how our government can continue to perpetrate abusive legislation against smokers through its laws. Gradually, over the last 20 years, I have watched how tobacco control have infiltrated our health system. Under Labour, a total indoor smoking ban was pushed through Parliament when smokers were expecting a partial ban. It worried me that the law entered private property. That is not moral. But at least smokers were allowed to smoke in their own homes, psychiatric wards, prison, and space rented as their home. I believe that the ban greatly affected our economy and made misery for millions of British citizens. I'm talking about personal misery, loneliness, and the destructions of communities and hardship for the older generation. This is serious stuff for me. As the years go by, I see the influence of tobacco control gradually lobbying for more and more legislation against the people of this country. Outdoor smoking bans, private vehicle smoking bans, hidden stock in shops, and now medical porn on plain packs. Such nocebos on packaging are a crime against the health of the people. All these things that have come to pass are totalitarianism in its purest form. I find it very frightening that a small, funded, elite group that know what's best for everyone in the name of health can come to have such power in the government of this country. I'm shocked that the government has allowed it. Our United Kingdom has the most restrictive smoking regulations, and it's not because it's the European Union's fault, it's ours. Our government has believed tobacco control ideology, especially the second-hand smoke idea, that they manufactured to make every smoker guilty of harming others and every non-smoker fearful of smokers. What's wrong with us? How are we so blind? So I need to find out who speaks for smokers in our government. Who will say enough is enough? In fact, we need a rollback to sanity. Who will see that we now live in an abusive society where smokers have no consideration in any way whatsoever, and the persecution simply increases? Who is saying that the tobacco control industry influence needs to be stopped? Who is weighing up the cost of tobacco control in all its forms, in money spent by the government, the cost of implementing their ideology, the cost of black marketing and lost taxes, and the cost of the suffering of the people? Who is questioning the morality of stopping smokers smoking in psychiatric wards, in prison, in their own offices, in their own homes, in the open air, outside hospitals, on station platforms, on beaches? Beaches! This is not ethical. Who in this coming election will be giving smokers any hope that the insanity of the few who desire the end game, i.e. a smoker-free world, will be curtailed, and their offences against smokers stopped? A persecution of Christians, Buddhists, coffee drinkers, cyclists, biscuit nibblers, or any other lifestyle choice would never be accepted in a fair country. Our thinking has been vitiated by design. There are millions of smokers who are waiting to hear who will give them some consideration. I am hoping your government will have some consideration for the smokers who have had no voice, no power, no media support, and no confidence to describe their pain. Yours sincerely. So that was my letter, and I've read it now on this video channel, and it's going to be uploaded to Frank Davis's website. I did send this to Mrs. May, but unfortunately the election went so badly for her, and she was got all muddled up in terrorist attacks and Grenfell Towers burning, that she had no time to attend to a letter from me. But I got a reply saying that when she had time, the letter would be passed on to her. I'm going to send it again, but change it a little bit. But that was my letter, written on the 12th. So, bye-bye. Thanks for vaping with me.